Do you desire to have 280 and above in JAM? TARABA Business School TBS is here again with another wonderful offer. JAM Lesson and Computer-Based Test CBT every Mondays to Friday by 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. featuring all JAM courses, computer-based tests, WAEC and NECO tutorials at school located at the number 183 opposite Civil Service Commission, Hamarua Way, Jalingo, Taraba State. What are you waiting for? You and your children deserve the best. So grab this opportunity now. The lesson fee is affordable at the cost of 5,000 Naira per month. Take advantage of this rare opportunity. For more inquiries, contact 081-2854-3150 or 070-6342-8464 or 080-6466-0861. TARABA Business School, creating world-class entrepreneurs and professionals. Do you desire to have 280 and above in JAM? TARABA Business School TBS is here again with another wonderful offer. JAM Lesson and Computer-Based Test CBT every Mondays to Friday by 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. featuring all JAM courses, computer-based tests, WAEC and NECO tutorials at school located at the number 183 opposite Civil Service Commission, Hamarua Way, Jalingo, Taraba State. What are you waiting for? You and your children deserve the best. So grab this opportunity now. The lesson fee is affordable at the cost of 5,000 Naira per month. Take advantage of this rare opportunity. For more inquiries, contact 081-2854-3150 or 070-6342-8464 or 080-6466-0861. TARABA Business School, creating world-class entrepreneurs and professionals. 070-6226-7828. Cindy Fragrance. Inhale confidence, exhale elegance. Are you tired of feeling like your style is missing that final touch? Do you want to make a statement without saying a word? Look no further than Cindy Fragrance. At Cindy Fragrance, we believe that your scent is a reflection of your style and individuality. That's why we offer a wide range of perfume to suit every budget and taste. Whether you prefer top designer brand, niche level or affordable option, we have something for everyone. Because of Cindy Fragrance, we believe that everyone deserves to feel confident and elegant. So, don't wait. Unleash your scent, unleash your style at Cindy Fragrance. And right now, when you buy 3 perfumes, you would get 10% off. Hurry in and experience the world of fragrance at Cindy Fragrance. Call us at 070-6226-7828. Cindy Fragrance. Inhale confidence, exhale elegance. Are you tired of feeling like your style is missing that final touch? Do you want to make a statement without saying a word? Look no further than Cindy Fragrance. At Cindy Fragrance, we believe that your scent is a reflection of your style and individuality. That's why we offer a wide range of perfume to suit every budget and taste. Whether you prefer top designer brand, niche level or affordable option, we have something for everyone. Because of Cindy Fragrance, we believe that everyone deserves to feel confident and elegant. So, don't wait. Unleash your scent, unleash your style at Cindy Fragrance. And right now, when you buy 3 perfumes, you would get 10% off. Hurry in and experience the world of fragrance at Cindy Fragrance. Call us at 070-6226-7828. Cindy Fragrance. Inhale confidence, exhale elegance. Are you tired of feeling like your style is missing that?
Good morning, Nigerians. Welcome to the broadcast of Morning Show on Sun TV. It is not again safe to say that we live in perilous times in Nigeria. We have the issues of fuel scarcity, we have the issues of lack of power in the north, we have the issues of economic meltdown, we have the issues of insecurity which has bedeviled the nations over the years. But this is a call to resilience. Nigerians, we have been known for our dexterity and commitment. Let us stand up with confidence and hope in our leadership and in our nation. Let us confront our challenges and celebrate our triumphs. That is our identity. That is who we are. We have no any other place. Let's put all hands together. All hands must be on deck to ensure that Nigeria becomes the glorious place that everyone will be so proud of. We're going to take a commercial break. When we're back, we're going to delve into the matters of the day. Morning Show on Sam TV is a program that discusses national dailies, the topical issues on national dailies. You can't afford to miss it. Stay tuned as we go for a commercial break.
Final touch? Do you want to make a statement without saying a word? Look no further than Cindy Fragrance. At Cindy Fragrance, we believe that your scent is a reflection of your style and individuality. That's why we offer a wide range of perfume to suit every budget and taste. Whether you prefer top designer brand, niche level or affordable option, we have something for everyone. Because of Cindy Fragrance, we believe that everyone deserves to feel confident and elegant. So, don't wait. Unleash your scent, unleash your style at Cindy Fragrance. And right now, when you buy 3 perfumes, you would get 10% off. Hurry in and experience the world of fragrance at Cindy Fragrance. Call us at 070-6226-7828. Cindy Fragrance. Inhale confidence, exhale elegance. Are you tired of feeling like...
Are you a businessman or woman? Do you need loan to grow your business? At TARABA Business Development Center, we offer both business and personal loan with flexible repayment plan. We are located in different parts of Taraba State. Jalingo Branch, opposite Civil Service Commission, 183 Amarua Way, 090-3134-4333. Zing Branch, Zenith Bank Agent beside College of Education, Zing, 070-3125-2559. Yembu Branch, Usi Plaza, Yembu Sardauna State, 080-8978-2725. ATC Branch, Zenith Bank Agents, Taraba State University Shops, ATC, Outer Kola Local Government, 090-7850-2712. Other centers to take up soon. This initiative is supported by Zenith Bank, Globus Bank, Wema Bank, and Guarantee Trust Bank. Super Cash. Are you a businessman or woman? Do you need loan to grow your business? At TARABA Business Development Center, we offer both business and personal loan with flexible repayment plan. We are located in different parts of Taraba State. Jalingo Branch, opposite Civil Service Commission, 183 Amarua Way, 090-3134-4333. Zing Branch, Zenith Bank Agent beside College of Education, Zing, 070-3125-2559. Yembu Branch, Usi Plaza, Yembu Sardauna State, 080-8978-2725. ATC Branch, Zenith Bank Agents, Taraba State University Shops, ATC, Outer Kola Local Government, 090-7850-2712. Other centers to take up soon. This initiative is supported by Zenith Bank, Globus Bank, Wema Bank, and Guarantee Trust Bank. Super Cash. Are you a businessman or woman? Do you need loan to grow your business? At TARABA Business Development Center, we offer both business and personal loan with flexible repayment plan. We are located in different parts of Taraba State. Jalingo Branch, opposite Civil Service Commission, 183 Amarua Way, 090-3134-4333. Zing Branch, Zenith Bank Agent beside College of Education, Zing, 070-3125-2559. Yembu Branch, Usi Plaza, Yembu Sardauna State, 080-8978-2725. ATC Branch, Zenith Bank Agents, Taraba State University Shops, ATC, Outer Kola Local Government, 090-7850-2712. Other centers to take up soon. This initiative is supported by Zenith Bank, Globus Bank, Wema Bank, and Guarantee Trust Bank. Super Cash. Are you a businessman or woman? Do you need loan to grow your business? At TARABA Business Development Center, we offer both business and personal loan with flexible repayment plan. We are located in different parts of Taraba State. Jalingo Branch, opposite Civil Service Commission, 183 Amarua Way, 090-3134-4333. Zing Branch, Zenith Bank Agent beside College of Education, Zing 070-3125-2559. Yembu Branch, Usi Plaza, Yembu Sardauna State 080-8978-2725. ATC Branch, Zenith Bank Agents, Taraba State University Shops, ATC, Outer Kola Local Government 090-7850-2712. Other centers to take up soon. This initiative is supported by Zenith Bank, Globus Bank, Wema Bank, and Guarantee Trust Bank. Super Cash. Are you a businessman or woman? Do you need loan to grow your business? At TARABA Business Development Center, we offer both business and personal loan with flexible repayment plan. We are located in different parts of Taraba State. Jalingo Branch, opposite Civil Service Commission, 183 Amarua Way, 090-3134-4333. Zing Branch, Zenith Bank Agent beside College of Education, Zing 070-3125-2559. Yembu Branch, Usi Plaza, Yembu Sardauna State 080-8978-2725. ATC Branch, Zenith Bank Agents, Taraba State University Shops, ATC, Outer Kola Local Government 090-7850-2712. Other centers to take up soon. This initiative is supported by Zenith Bank, Globus Bank, Wema Bank, and Guarantee Trust Bank. Super Cash.
You're welcome back from our commercial break. If you're just joining us, this is Morning Show on Some TV. I'm your regular anchor, Ira Daniel Kukui. Our guest this morning is Chief Gabriel Olayinka. Gabriel Olayinka is a lecturer with the Taraba State University Accounting Department. He's the CEO Taraba Business School, CEO Taraba News Agency, and CEO Some TV. Yeah, welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure having me once again.
We're really happy to be having you here. We're going to go direct to the issues on the National Daily. We're going to start with TG News. TG News has a major headline that talk about power being restored. It said, power restored. Northern Nigeria to get electricity in 72 hours, according to the minister.
Yeah, we all know that there has been the issue of power all this while. Yesterday, the Minister of Power addressed the press, and in the press, he promised that power is going to be restored back to Taraba, to Nigeria, particularly to so many parts of the north within 72 hours. It's still a promise. We hope that everything will be done to make sure that that happen. Apart from even that promise, there is also the issue that was stated by the Minister of Defense, in which he ordered the troop to give support to those repairing. Remember that it was said that some of the area in which the issue of the repair is to be done, they are trouble or security challenge area. So with these two statements by two ministers, that is from the Minister of Defense and also the Minister of Power, we are hoping that in the 72 hours we are gatekeepers. We'll still be here after 72 hours by the grace of God to see whether that happens. But if that happens, two things are very important. One, if they did not keep to the promise, that is going to be a serious problem, because Nigerians, it's better you do not promise Nigerians than you promise them and fail. If it happened, fine and good. Also, even if it happened, the issue of sustainability is also very important.
Yeah.
They should be able to sustain what has happened. We shouldn't hear again that light goes off again. As I said yesterday, we're supposed to have passed this level of talking about electricity. And there can never be any meaningful development in this country unless we are able to fix the issue of power.
Yeah, that is correct, and I agree with you. And let's go on to another headline on TG News. It's a fuel subsidy. No, it's not okay. Petrol price jump up to 1,025 naira per liter Lagos State and 1,060 naira per liter in Abuja.
The issue of prices of petrol is actually something that is of worrisome to all of us. What we are experiencing currently is that different people and different places just fix their own prices as they want. This is a very worrisome situation. I think in one of the dailies, the president has called for a meeting between the Minister of State Petroleum with the General Manager of the NNPC Limited with Dangote, because in some of the paper you also see that Dangote has cried out and said, "Don't blame you for the increment on the price." And also, you know, two things are happening. The increment in the price is one thing, and also the scarcity. Because if you go around, this what we're even talking about is the control price. Virtually nobody even get it at control price. If you go to most filling station now, you get it at 1,300, 1,350. That is the places you can even get the fuel. Places that sell at the 1,150, 1,200, one thing you will notice in those places are queue, mostly NNPC filling station. So it's something that you don't know who to blame. Do you blame the NNPC? Do you blame Dangote? You know, who do you blame? So I think the meeting called upon by the president may be able to provide a way forward and solution. Because if you see the daily papers also, you will notice that the government, based on the landing price now, the price of fuel has increased again. So who do you blame for this increase in price? You know, the removal of subsidy regime is such that the prices of the fuel are supposed to be controlled by the forces of demand and supply. That is, it is not a control again. So, but you see, we are operating subsidy removal with price control. That's where the problem setting. When you want to allow the forces of demand and supply to determine price, then you don't put any control again. So, but you know, the matter is even that in most filling stations that sell this thing above the prices, a lot of them don't even have customers. If you go to so many of those big filling stations now, where the people have turned to now is where it is sold at the control price. So our problem is multifaceted, and let's hope that the meeting today with the president and these critical stakeholders will actually provide the solution.
And there is these issues in some states in the north where the NNPC mega station do not sell beyond some hours because of insecurity. Maybe if the government can intervene in providing sufficient security so they can do 24-hour service, don't you think that can help?
Yeah, in Nigeria, it's not everywhere you can do 24-hour service now, because you must take into, you can't go and do 24-hour service in places like Zamfara, for instance. Even in places like Borno State, particularly in some part of Borno State, maybe Gamburungala, for instance, in some part of Yobe states, you know, even in part of Sokoto, in part of Kebbi, you know, even in some South states, you know, we have also issue of iPod and all that in Enugu, in you know, in if you talk about even in South, you know, in states like rivers, we have issue. So there are our issues are multifaceted. So it's one thing that we can see. The problem now, if you understand, is the problem of price. That's the problem we're having. Not, I told you that most of these filling stations that sell at supermarket, you will see that the places are empty. People are not buying. The rate of people even using their vehicles, a lot of people have parked their vehicles. They have resorted to public transport. So it's not just about the issue of availability. It's also the issue of affordability.
Okay. Now we'll go to Daily Independent. Daily Independent talk about Tinubu meets Dangote others access Naira-based crude oil sales. What is this Naira-based crude oil sales?
Okay. This is the meeting I'm talking about. It is expected that the president will meet the African richest man, that is Aliko Dangote, on the issue of Naira-based crude oil. As it stands before now, we sell our crude oil in dollars, because you know that in those days, before we export the crude oil, whoever company that is buying the crude oil will pay us in dollars. But the problem we are also having at that time is that it is Nigeria that we are among the 6 largest producer of crude oil who cannot refine his own domestic consumption. So in that regime, we export crude oil and receive refined oil. But the crude oil we are selling, of course, it's not all the crude oil that comes back to Nigeria. We sell to all over the world. Peng, or what do you call this world oil? OPEC control the prices of oil and all that. So, but that transaction is done in dollars. Now, the matter is now that we are now giving a locally refined company this crude, do we still be selling to them in dollars? What Dangote company is saying is that, why do we need to go and source for foreign currency to pay for a product we are buying in Nigeria? I don't know how I'm getting it. Yes. So the Naira-based crude oil sales we are talking about is so that the Dangote refinery and maybe other refinery within the country can buy this crude oil using Naira. Of course, for me, I seriously believed in this particular assertion. Reason is because it will reduce the pressure on our dollars. Because one of the major thing we use the dollar for, in particularly in exchange trade, is in this crude oil sales and purchase of refined oil. So I think is a step in the right direction, that we should forget about the issue of selling crude oil to Nigerian refineries in dollars. We should be able to sell crude oil to Nigerian refineries in Naira. That's the whole issue about the Naira-based crude oil.
And that is expected to boost Nigerian economy.
Yes, it will strengthen the Naira. For me, it will strengthen the Naira, because it will reduce the need and the pressure that we have on dollars.
And okay, Dangote is still talking about how retailers are ignoring 500 million liters of fuel in his tank farm, and he alleges that they have preference for imported petroleum products. On the Daily Independent. Now, my question is that, is this a kind of sabotage, or why do they prefer to buy the product from foreign countries in the light of the fact that Dangote's product is one of the best in the world?
You know, one of the things is that for marketers, they go by price. If a marketer, for instance, let's say Irano, who can afford to buy a large number of refined oil, if he can get, let's say, 1 naira reduction, let me give you an example. If, let's say, 1 naira reduction, do you know that if he's buying about $1 billion, 1 billion liters, that 1 naira reduction is getting, that is a difference of 1 billion naira. You know, for a businessman, he is much more concerned about how much profit he's going to make. So he will look at, okay, if I'm getting a difference of 1 billion naira in the crude I am importing, he will also look at, okay, what is the cost of importation? Let's say the cost of importation is 300 million. Minus 300 million from 1 billion. You are going to have a profit or a margin of about 700 million. So he will consider that rather than me buying in Nigeria, this is an opportunity. I will make additional 700 million. What do you think he will do? He will go for the foreign distinct, regardless of, you know, so many entrepreneurs are not really concerned about quality. They are concerned about profits. So it doesn't matter whether Dangote fuel is more qualitative than the one he gets from England or from Ireland or from Iran or from Kuwait or any of this, or from Saudi, any of these major this thing. And you also know that there are some of these companies that have come to set up refineries around us. We have a very major refinery in Nigeria, which getting it to Nigeria will not, in fact, if you are getting it maybe from Maradi, where the refinery is situated, it's closer than getting it from Dangote refinery to Sokoto in Lagos. So these are all the factors. But in all this, what we need to do is to see how, because patriotism is also very important. How do we grow our economy if we do not patronize things that are produced or made in Nigeria? So these are all the factors that are concerned. So a normal businessman will want to look at the situation whereby, how can I get this thing, and how can I get it cheaper?
Okay, we go on to other matters that are outside the issue of the fuel. If you're just joining us, this is Some TV Morning Show, and our guest today is Chief Gabriel Olayenka, the CEO of TARABA Business School, TARABA News Agency, and Some TV Television. There's this headline on TG News that talk about RCCG suspend 2 pastors over homosexual allegation. Begins prop.
Yeah, the Redeemed Christian Church of God, there were these 2 pastors in which there was allegation that they are homosexuals. So the thing was all over the internet at a point. So this action was an action by the church to look at the issue, and you know, to prove this kind of issue and to show the commitment of the church. The first thing the church did was to first of all suspend them. We don't know whether the allegation will later be proven to be correct or not. But you know, the stand the church has taken was to show their stand particularly against homosexuality. We all know that all over the world today, Christianity is facing one particular thing. We have those who are in support of they call it the liberation of people, you know, which they felt were serving one God. Nobody should be discriminated, that we are born to be, some are born to be bisexual and all that. in on some part of the world today, you know that there are even appointment of gay bishops. You understand? There are legalization of same marriage. We have issues even within UMCN that led to a faction called Global Methodist Church pulling away from the United Methodist Church. So this is actually a serious issue that is currently happening in the church, and is trending, and is also threatening the activities of Christianity. So I think RCCG being a church, particularly with a wide range number of people, if not anything, I think is one of the church with the highest number of people. It is good for them to really handle this issue very well, because if they do not handle it very well, it has a way of also affecting other churches, particularly the Pentecostal. So let's see how it goes. We'll keep monitoring the event as they unfold and see what happens at the end of the day.
Yes, on to another headline on the Delhi Independent. It said the Vice President Shetima is taxing newspaper editors. It's like government media must unite to move Nigeria forward. Can you shed more light on the role of media in collaboration with the government in nation building?
Yes, media has a lot to play, as we know that on information that they see, and that's why media practitioners must ensure that their information are accurate and they are balanced. You know, accuracy and balancing of information are two different things. When we are talking about accuracy in reporting, we are talking about whatever you are saying, it is actually what happens. And when we're talking about balance, in most times of reportage, you have different views, not just the view of government. I am one person that believes that, okay, while we must look at the view of government, we must also look at the view of others. So in terms of balancing reporting, that is looking at all the issues from different angles. Most of the times as journalists, as reporters, what we do is to tell people the facts and figures of the issue. We allow the general public to take their own decision. This happened, this person said this person, apart from maybe editorial. You know, in editorial are the views of the publishers, but other reports are supposed to be based on facts and figures. What happened, who says what did he say at each time, what was the reaction of the other people, if the matter that is being said has to. So media has a lot to play in nation building, and I think we must keep encouraging this balanced, fair and accurate reporting, so that because we know the danger of fake news. We know the danger of fake news. When informations are not stated the way they are, it has a lot of dangers in the society, because people can take an information and you know, a single information can set the whole country on fire. We've had cases where one information is trending, and before you know what happened in every part of this country, it has become an issue. So the media has a major role to play in nation building, in ensuring that the information are correct and they are accurate.
Yeah, in the light of what you've just said, at times there are tendencies for the government to exert unnecessary, undue pressure on the press. Just like the report making the rounds recently about the relationship of the crew, the press crew at the government house of Kano State and the chief press secretary. I think there was this sacking, kind of sending them away from the government house on the allegation. Most likely it was a story that they could have fallen out based on the fact that they were reporting issues that the government is the freedom of information, freedom of speech, freedom of the press in the light of this?
Yeah, the Kano incident, I remember there are quite a number of issues in the Kano incident. The first one was the governor of Bauchi State visited Kano. What we heard was the press were available to him. You know, in government, that particular crew, they are known as government crew. Government crew are the reporters that are attached to the office of the governor. And definitely, I must tell you, I've had a lot of experience in this. Definitely, crew of the government or the government crew, which are usually reporters from different organizations that are attached to the governor's office. Majorly, what they were supposed to be doing was to be reporting the activities of the governor. But in most places, we used to find out that most times you see them also going, because most of the times those crew, as you see them, they are under what we call retainership. The government have what they pay to their media on a yearly basis as a retainer. Used to have most times is that those people are expected to concentrate on the government, what the governor does. Because they say, who is it paid, divide, controls the tune. But that is not supposed to be. Journalists supposed to be independent. Even if they were anywhere, they're supposed to report the information based on what is factual, what is seen, and what is available. But this interference is something we always see, particularly in government. So, but it's not supposed to. What we heard was that on the pages of paper was involved should go back to their media organization. The media organization were also asked to send another set of people. So the government pressed it, it did not show that there was anything. But we know that behind the scene, all these things I've explained actually happened. But I've tried in perspective. One is the fact that the media has a role to play to ensure that informations are correct and are balanced, and they should not be subjected to interference of because that will amount to compromise in terms of how information is related.
Now we go on to the blueprints. The blueprint has this headline: Biden calls Tinubu's bid for UN permanent seats. Do you think Nigeria is actually ready to be a permanent member of the United Nations in the face of the embarrassing nation?
Yeah, Nigeria is the largest black country in the world. Nigeria is the largest black, that is the country that has most people black is Nigeria. Nigerians are present virtually in every country. Nigerian is the most popular African country in the world. Nigeria, we refer it as the giant of Africa. So with all this acclaim, is there any reason why Nigeria should not be a member of the Security Council, of the United Security Council? The answer is no. This bid has been on for many years, and I think it is even far overdue. Nigerians deserve this position. Nigeria deserves this place. So we are hoping that this fresh move will lead to Nigerian coming into the community of the world and being a member of the United Nations Security Council.
So there are issues being raised by some group that, in spite of the fact that we have all these characteristics that you mentioned, we have our fundamental issues, the issue of democracy, the issue of insecurity. They opine that we're not yet right, we're not yet big enough to be included in the United Nations security.
There's no reason. I will ask people, what qualified a country to be? It is the relevance of that country. Is there any African country that is more relevant than Nigeria? Where already a Nigerian is the Deputy Secretary General to the United Nations. What's her name?
Amina Mohammed.
Amina Mohammed. So what criteria again? So I think if we're looking at criteria, we should be looking at the relevancy of a country. Nigeria is the giant of Africa. Nigeria is the most populous black country in the world. It is Nigerians that somebody say if you go to any country and you do not find a Nigerian, don't stay in that country. Because Nigerians can survive anywhere. And if we are talking about even security situation, Nigeria play a lot of role, particularly in the security of Africa. Nigeria is one country that have sent troops to there is virtually no African country that have an issue that Nigeria have not sent troops to. You talk about Mali, you talk about Niger, you talk about Libya. You understand? Playing a leading role. So what reason do we now have to say Nigeria is not qualified? If there is anybody who is overqualified, I think Nigeria is overqualified.
And I'll go on to the major headline of New Telegraph. New Telegraph said terrorists have taken over Nigeria's largest military camp. That is according to Niger State House of Assembly. Now, what is your take in the view of the Niger State? Katangora is close to the seat of power of Nigeria, and if terrorists have taken over, if it is true that this report is the way it is, do we have any reason to panic as a nation, considering the proximity of the place with the seat of power?
Yeah, there are a lot for us to panic. Niger State is very close to the federal capital. In fact, it's a boundary to the federal capital. As I mentioned something like this yesterday, where I talked about the fact that we seems not to take the issue of security very, very serious, because insecurity has lasted in this country too far. Take that part of Nigeria that we are talking about, the Katangora axis. You remember that is also not too far from Kainji Dam, which is the seat of our national grid. So in that Katangora axis, a lot of communities which were supposed to be farming community has been sacked. Do you remember that was the same axis that some military pilots plane attempted to do this and were shot down? Do you remember we had those cases? And it looked as if we have kept quiet over it. One thing about terrorism most of the time is that they try to regroup and consolidate themselves. So I think the fear or the concern of the Niger State of Assembly is something that should not just be the problem of Niger State alone, but should be the problem of the entire country. Why do I say that? The proximity of it means that if they have been able to take over their axis, because one thing with terrorists is that when they have been able to conquer a particular place, they made advance. So what if they're advancing now towards Abuja, or advancing towards the national grid? We know terrorists with sabotage. Remember that in Maiduguri, some times ago, they completely disconnect the state from electricity completely. They blowed up all the installation that takes light to Maiduguri. For some months, the whole of the state was in darkness. So what if terrorists took over our national grid and put the whole country in darkness? Is that then we will now know the gravity and the seriousness of what is happening in Niger State? Or remember the same Maiduguri, there was a time that they shot telecommunication marks and nobody was able to communicate. So the pattern of terrorists is something that require us to take proactive steps. Nigeria has one of the strong military base that have excelled in every part of the world. So what's happening to our internal security that we allow some places to be taken over? This is the same thing we allow to happen in Yobe, Niger State, that some local government completely were under the control of terrorists. Thank God there are some level of improvement. We must say that. But sustainability is important. We should not take what is happening in Niger State for granted. There is a need for us to reclaim those areas. People cannot go to their farms, in those areas we are talking about. So it's a serious challenge.
States, IGR raises fiscal sustainability concern. That is, states in Nigeria, so many states in Nigeria are having challenges with their internally generated revenue, and that's our Nigeria.
Yeah, it's a serious concern. The most worrisome part was that our beloved state Taraba is the lowest. If just take a look at what we have on the screen. This is statistics. What it means is that if federal government today decide not to send federal allocation to some states, we cannot survive. Tomorrow we are trying to analyze something in a newspaper on we want to focus on state poor IGR actually raise a serious a lot and not take care of to feed themselves. Let me put it that way. And to depend it 32 states depend on FARC for how many percent? 59% revenue. 14 others 70%. Anything above percent means that it's something, meaning that state need to begin to think outside the box. State need to begin to think outside the box. For me, for instance, look at Taraba at the end. Yes, Taraba is the third largest state in terms of land mass. What are we doing with our the Yoruba down to Ibi? That is the longest stretch of River Niger, and that passed through how many local government? From Karin Lamido to Lao, to Ardokola, to Gasol, to Wukari, to Ibi. We are talking about 6 different local government on that stretch. How can we not have make use of these to be the biggest suppliers of rice, for instance? Why have we not been able to develop rice company? Taraba is supposed to be one of the states that feed the whole of this country, because if we look at all the 36 states, invariably the 4 states that are viable are Lagos, FCT, Rivers, and maybe Ogun. Then from Delta up to Oyo, these ones can be said to be viable. That is, if you look at those on grain. But if you look, those are the one now that has close to about 58% of their income coming from the national. But if you look at this one on red are those who it's of their income. So that's why you see that if anything, and the major source of our national FAC, the implication of this is that if something happens to our oil revenue, it will affect close to 30 in this country. So we need to think outside the box. And I think for me, that is allow to control some resources that are in their domain. Because Taraba, for instance, has resources. But as we know, mineral resources are in the exclusive list.
They have been hijacked by the federal government.
Yes, when we say something is in the exclusive, it means that the federal government control it. But you see, another thing you will look at is that, does the state even have the capacity to harness some of these mineral resources? Those are issues. So I think each state needs to now begin to look inward and begin to think of what they need to do, what they need to look. So in the chart also, you will see this IGR in terms of the 6 geopolitical zone, and about 1.2 trillion naira. And of course, the Southwest has advantage over other. Import activity takes place within Lagos. If you look at even majority of our companies are situated within Lagos and Ogun. So that is what amounts to having about 1.2 trillion naira in the Southwest. South has 4.68 trillion naira, billion naira. And of course, you know that this is attributed to oil. The South has the majority of the oil companies, oil exploration. And for me, this idea of South shows that with the present company oil exploration, South is supposed to be competing with Southwest. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying, because it also has onshore advantage. It takes place through the South region. and you see Southwest also has not done so well, because also Southwest, particularly being the place of commercial activity, I expected also the IGR in the Southwest to also Southeast to also be and of course our beloved Northeast is the lowest with 104.35 billion naira. Meaning, but if you look at in terms of landmass, which of the region has the biggest landmass?
The Northeast.
The Northeast. And yet, the IGR in the Northeast is far. In fact, in the IGR in the Northwest is almost doubled the IGR in the Northeast, because you have about 206.2 billion naira in the Northwest. So, and you will see that in the Northwest, yes, in the Northeast, you have a billion. And of course, if you begin to consider it alongside Southwest, then you will see that of Southwest, Southeast may not even be up to one state in the Southwest. So, you know, I must commend Budget IT. Budget IT is an independent organization that try to look at issue that relates to IGR, budget, and so forth. And I think they have done a very good job to be able to do this analysis for us. It is now left for individual states to look inward is the sustainability of this minimum wage. The large number of what can sustain the minimum wage is still going to come from where? It's going to come from
internally generated.
It's going to come from federal allocation, because we have seen that internally generated revenue cannot be able to.
Nothing to write home about.
Yeah.
We're going to go that has to do with TARABA and its environs. Please stay tuned.
Are you a businessman or woman? Do you need loan to grow your business? At TARABA Business Development Center, we offer both business and personal loan with flexible repayment plan. We are located in different parts of Taraba State. Jalingo branch, opposite Civil Service Commission, 183 Amarua Way, 090-3134-4333. Zing branch, Zenith Bank agent beside College of Education, Zing, 070-3125-2559. Yembu branch, Usi Plaza, Yembu Sardauna State, 080-8978-2725. ATC branch, Zenith Bank agents, Taraba State University shops, ATC, Audokola local government, 090-7850-2712. Other centers to take up soon. This initiative is supported by Zenith Bank, Globus Bank, Wema Bank, and Guarantee Trust Bank. Super Cash.
Do you desire to have 280 and above in JAM? TARABA Business School TBS is here again with another wonderful offer. JAM Lesson and Computer-Based Test CBT every Monday to Friday by 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. featuring all JAM courses, computer-based tests, WAEC and NECO tutorials at school located at the number 183 opposite Civil Service Commission, Hamarua Way, Jalingo, Taraba State. What are you waiting for? You and your children deserve the best. So grab this opportunity now. The lesson fee is affordable at the cost of 5,000 naira per month. Take advantage of this rare opportunity. For more inquiries, contact 081-2854-3150 or 070-6342-8464 or 080-6466-0861. TARABA Business School, creating world-class entrepreneurs and professionals. Do you desire to have 280 and above in JAM? TARABA Business School TBS is here again with another wonderful offer. JAM lesson and computer-based tests.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Morning Show on Some TV. Our guest 3 days ago in their grievance against police brutality, what they alleged as police brutality. Let's take a look at this video.
Ana cutar da mu, ana zaluntar mu, traffic ba mu ba, union ma zaluntar mu suke yi, ko ina ba a bar mu ba, kuma in babu mu ba jami'u mu. Wani gwamnati ya tsaya kan kaji ne
yanzu dai mun ga ana demonstration a nan muna so mu san me ya kawo wannan abin da ya kawo hayaniya na grievance ne na masu keke akan yanda traffic da police ke cin musu zarafi dan keke ko da wuri da ana ya kada ai parking ne in yi parking dan traffic warden ko police sai kama shi a yanzu abin da ya faru ko wani yaro ba ron parking ba kuma ba sun kama shi sun hanko bi da sun dubi shi so shi ne su register wannan grievance na shi wannan abu nothing more no less yanzu ne kuke bukatar gwamnati su abin da ake bukata gwamnati ya shine a jawo traffic warden a lokacin da ya kafa da ya aiki sai a aiki dan keke bare zama to shine zai zauna ko da yaushe ana harin sa a ne mafi yaka dan keke bai san iska ko ya mai mota zai faka a wurin da zuwa ke ba ta ba shi ba amma dan keke na faki a rabin wuri sai a kama shi dan keke da tafiya mutan da samu da ba ko da wani lokaci ne sai a je kuna za a kama shi har da tara bai yi ba dan keke da tafiya police sa ce a kama shi saboda ka dan keke ne sai a ransa duk abin da dan keke ne dan keke sai ke biya ne ko ya turke sai ya biya naira 150 akwai wani abubuwan da ba sa biya koko so grievance ne yake shi da wannan yana neman gwamnati ya sa hannu da gina su don Allah a janye keke akan hanya don Allah
da kame-kame to yanzu tun da wannan abu ya faru kuma an ji kwakwaken za mu bude hanya za a tafi da ni za a dauki ciyaman na wannan layi ina zuwa wani kwabo yana zuwa state ciyaman na taskoma yana zuwa za mu je mu zauna da zibi duk matsalan ku za a yi adiresin da iya zuwa dan Allah ta ku iya kuna ganin ku bar mu da hanya na ku ne a su suka representan ku kuma su suka ga mana akwai matsala muna bitin ne da kwamishina a kan hekwata abin ya faru ya sa da ta ta mana kudi na imani dukkan matsalolin ku ga gaya ma shugabannin ku
Yeah, sir, look at, you just watched the clip. These people actually mentioned that the car owner will park in a no parking area and he will not be harassed. But whenever a Keke Napep park in a no parking area, he will be harassed. They are talking about the fact that they are actually not doing the right thing and they are complaining of being disciplined. What is your position on this?
Yeah, I think the issue is beyond even what we are seeing it. There is a need for authorities, particularly the police, the traffic warden, to show human feeling. What I mean by human feeling is that if somebody park where he's not supposed to park, the first thing should not be to arrest the person and begin to harass him. The first thing should be that you can ask him to go and park properly. Don't stay here, move. You understand? What has led to this level of agitation is the fact that a lot of times there have not been show of human feeling. I have had a lot of experience in Jalingo with this situation. And you see, this protest, as you see it, is a cumulation. What I mean by cumulation is that is as a result of several things. It is not just what just happened now, you know, or what just happened that day. You know, it's like they said, if a child wants to cry, even if you carry one small stone and throw him, he will start crying. You would think it is that small stone that you throw in that. No, it's because he's already filled up with overwhelmed with cry already. So this is actually the situation. So thank God, the essence of things like this sometimes is to bring the attention of the authority. I believe that I saw the Deputy Commissioner of Police came to the scene. I believe that with this kind of agitation, the authority will have been able to do something to make sure that things like this do not repeat itself. So another thing is there's also confusion about what is actually the deadline time for the operation of Keke Napep within Jalingo. There's also that problem. While some people believe that it's 9 o'clock, some people are saying it's 7 o'clock. I've seen situations where after 7, when some Keke people are found outside, you will see police and traffic, you know, brutalizing them, arresting them. The worst part for me was this situation where if a Keke man escaped, they will now use police van to begin to chase him. That thing is very dangerous. In Jalingo, for instance, we have a situation whereby this leads to the death of some people. I remember it was road safety that time, somewhere around this roadblock, somebody, and they began to follow him into the town. I know of a friend of mine who worked in Fidelity that up to today, he has not gotten himself back because he has multiple fractures. This kind of behavior need to be discouraged among all our security agencies. If somebody leave, you can take his plate number, his PT number. Like Keke Napep now, they even have what we call PT number. PT number is unique to everybody, and if you take somebody PT number and take it to the office, they will be able to tell you who is the owner of that keke. So this should be more professional approach to address this thing. So I think this is a call for, because what this means, that day we saw the implication. They blocked the whole of that flyover, that T.Y. Jonathan flyover. Nobody could be able to pass. That's to tell you the power of the people. Nobody was able, even police vehicles, district came, they couldn't pass because they blocked the whole area. So that is to tell you, when the people come up to stand to certain things, you cannot prevent them. So I think authority need to look at this thing at the highest level, because most of these things are done by junior officers who sometimes don't know the implication of what they're doing. There's a need to call people to action, to call people to order, and let's see how we are going to avoid. So rather than always trying to use the stick approach, let's always try to use the carrot approach. When somebody park in a place that is not normal, ask him to move. Let him move. Let him park in the right place. Rather than immediately park, you will see a traffic warden will enter the keke. Sometimes we collect the keke from the person's hand and begin to drive it to their this thing. Sometimes we also know that some of those actions were meant so that the people bring our money.
Yes.
So there's a need for us to know that what we are planning to do is to make sure there is law and order. So if we can maintain law and order, there is no need to begin to harass people, begin to beat them. To see this traffic holding a stick in their hand, sometimes hitting the thing, damaging the screen and the headlines of this. It's uncalled for. We should be more civilized and do things in an appropriate manner, and because the essence of everything we're doing is to maintain law and order.
Yeah, and there is another headline on TARABA News. So TARABA State is working on new minimum wage for implementation. That is according to Governor Jeffers. What is your answer?
Yeah, I think for me, the governor needs to quickly take a proactive step. You know that people are not patient. You know, I remember in one of the outing, the governor said he has ordered the office of the head of service to work on a template and present to him. So my take is that something needs to be done very, very fast, because you know that sometimes people are not patient enough. So I will call on His Excellency Governor Bukefa, because for me he has been trying his best. Why do I say that? When he came into power the other time, do you remember that at that time they have not yet even implemented the 30,000 minimum wage. But when he came, he made sure that 30,000 minimum wage is implemented. So I think in that spirit, it is important that the states take a proactive step. Already October salary alone have started being paid. If they work towards ensuring that it is implemented in November, I don't know what the governor may think about looking at the backloads, because there's also confusion about when is the appropriate implementation date for it. So I think it's important we look at it and consider what needs to be done and let it be done immediately.
Yes, there is this major headline on TARABA newspaper too. It talk about defamation. Pastor Paul Ricard writes Tiwa Danjuma, send him more books to read. What is your
has been on between Pastor Ricard and General Tiwa Danjuma. If you recall, what initially happened was Pastor Ricard wrote a book. I personally have read the book, and in which he made some far-reaching allegations against the general. When I say far-reaching, they are serious allegations. The general responded, and they gave Pastor Ricard 7 days in which to retract his book, and or else he faced a 1 billion naira legal action. The time has elapsed, and we've not heard the general did anything as far as that letter. That letter was written by his legal counsel and was addressed to Rika. As at that time, Rika was not even in the country. He was in the US. Some of us were thinking maybe with the letter, Rika will not come back. But after a while, we saw him came back. After a while, nothing was said until yesterday when Pastor Rika wrote back to General TY and sent him more books, you know. So it is something that we'll watch and see how the whole things play out. So as things unfold, we'll get to know, will the general make good his threats to sue Pastor Rika? Will Pastor Rika will he be able to prove those allegations that he made in his book? Does he have evidence that they happen? Because there are far-reaching allegations that are I don't want to mention some of them here, but they are really serious allegations. Will he be able to prove those allegations? Will General TY make good his should I call it threats or his claim? So these are what we should ask ourselves in the coming days. So as the days unfold, we're going to see how things will come up.
And there is this perspective to the issue on the legal position on such allegations. Are they tenable in the court of law if somebody talks about?
Yes, defamation is a setup. If it can be proven, defamation is a serious matter. It's a serious issue. Defamation is a serious matter, very, very serious matter. If it can be proven, that's why I said one is the first thing is whether the general, you know, the general is a elder statesman. He may decide to just leave Pastor Rika with his allegation and leave him to God. That is left for the general. But if the matter will be settled, if the general decides to sue him, then it is now onus on Pastor Rika to prove that those things he said were true. Because the court will depend on evidence. Court does not depend on hearsay. You heard that somebody say something, somebody reported, somebody. Court will not base his decision on hearsay. Court will want you to prove those things you said and provide evidence. You know, because another problem I'm seeing is most of the things that Pastor Rika wrote in that book, he claimed that God told him.
That is it. How do you establish that in the court of law?
So
we call God on phone.
So maybe when they go to court, Pastor Rika may have to provide evidence in court when God was talking to him. Maybe the judge will have to listen to the voice of God. Or what will be the evidence that Pastor Rika will prove that yes, he actually heard these things from God. So for me, if the matter were to go to court, it's going to be a very interesting one. It's going to be a very interesting one.
Maybe you advise them to just settle it out of court.
Yeah. You know, the thing is that it's the general that know how much he has been deferred as far as this matter is concerned. That's why I said, if as an elder statesman, he wants to take it in good faith and just ignore what he said, and maybe he can also issue a statement and said all the things that were said by Pastor Rika in his book are lies and fallacy. It's not left for public to know who they will believe. If they want to believe Pastor Rika, fine and good. If they want to believe TY, fine and good. Another thing is, general can decide to go to court. Let Pastor Rika come and prove his allegation. Then the court will decide and say, yes, what Pastor Rika said is true. Here are evidence we have been able to provide it. Or the court will say, Pastor Rika, you have not been able to prove your point. So these are the issues that as far as this matter is concerned.
Before we go, there is this headline again on Taraba News. It talk about Senator Manu Haruna hosts Taraba Queens and Kings in the National Assembly. What is the relevance of this move in projecting Taraba State?
Yeah, we all know that as far as we are concerned, beauty pageant is part of life and is part of way of projecting Taraba as a country, Taraba as a state. Remember that even in this studio, we hosted the Mr. and Mrs. Taraba. So I think I must commend the organizers for giving it a national look, because for them to go to the National Assembly, I think they have taken Taraba not just within Taraba, but they have been able to take Taraba to the world. I think it's a commendable effort, and we must commend them for that.
And on to the news on Honorable Mark Bako Seni's bill at the National Assembly. What is the relevance of that bill to our national parks, the national parks we have?
Maybe if they can play the audio for us, maybe we'll listen to so that we can now discuss it.
Tenth order of the day is a motion on the need to electrify host communities of Kashimbila Multipurpose Dam and environ. Standing in the name of Honorable Mark B. Useni. Honorable Useni is invited to move the motion. It's a utility bill, please, if possible, 1 or 2 paragraphs and then the prayer, since it's utility bill.
Your Excellency makes this motion is on a need to electrify all host communities of the Kashimila multipurpose dam and environs. The House notes that the federal government has completed the hydroelectricity component of the Kashimila multipurpose dam in Taraba State. Also note that the 40 megawatts hydro dam commenced evacuation of energy into the national grid since the year 2019. Concerned that despite feeding the national grid with electricity, host communities of Kashimila multipurpose dam remain in total darkness as they are yet to be connected to the grid. Aware that the host communities include Bibi, Bauru, Birama, Malumshe, Kashimbila, Bete, Lufu Joro, Barikilisa, Shibon, all in Takum local government of Taraba State. Also aware that the host communities need to be provided with electricity to give them a sense of belonging and ownership of the national asset and thereby guarantee its protection. House therefore resolved to mandate the Ministry of Power and Rural Electrification Agency to make adequate budgetary provision in the 2025 appropriation to ensure electrification of these host communities. 2, mandate the Committees on Power and Rural Electrification Agency to ensure compliance. I humbly move, Mr. Speaker.
Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in support of the motion as amended, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to Committee on Power.
Sir, you just watched the video on the move on the electrification of those communities. And
Yeah.
we'll take the electrification bill first, then we'll come back to the national park.
Yeah, you cannot be in a house and they are cooking soup. and you that is in the house is not partaking in the soup that they are cooking. I think I must commend Honorable Mark Husseini, because what that bill seeks is that to electrify communities that were around Kashimbila, because that light now goes as far as Donga, Takum, Usa,
Ibi
Wukari. So how could we that are close to the community not have light, and the people far away are getting the light? I think kudos to for even seeing that, because it's not everybody that will be able to look at that and see that something like this is happening. So I must very sincerely commend Honorable Mark Husseini. You know, for me, Mark Husseini is one of the most performing members of House of Reps. I have looked at his antecedent and his activity, and have seen that he did not go to the house to go and sleep, because sometimes there are people in the house, we hardly hear them raise any motion, raise any bill. So I must commend him for that. And I want to commend that this effort should be followed, because sometimes in Nigeria we raise matters and we don't follow it up. I would like to encourage Honorable Mark Husseini, Right Honorable Mark